we're starting.
We're live.
You live on Facebook, July?
We're up.
All right,
running.
join the party. You gotta have some movement, Brad, to draw people in.
Come on,
Come on in. We got my large wingspan here. Hi, folks. I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Together, we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
And our Pete in the post box.
Today, Brad, we're going to talk about how to strengthen and support weak ankles. Now, this might be someone that's been spraining their ankle, or maybe they just have weak ankles. I don't know.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I've had a number of patients that my ankles have been weak all my life, and I've been prone to ankle sprains, and they haven't done anything about it because they didn't know what to do.
Right, and we're going to show you today a lot of different things. We got kind of a smorgasbord of things that you can try.
Right.
And by the way, if you are new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every day. And if you haven't already gone over to Facebook and like us, please go over to Facebook and like us, Bob and Brad. And you know, over there, if you like us, we like you. We give you positive vibes.
Right.
Feel the vibes.
We got this going on.
Yeah. The way we're going to run this show today, like we run all our live events, we're going to go ahead and do the program, and then afterwards we will do question and answers. So queue up your questions, and we'll take a look at the ones we think we can answer. And we do answer relationship problems, right?
We give it a whirl, Bob, and sometimes we have good advice on that.
Very rare. But so,
It's on his word.
Lori, it's not focused. Well,
It's a big, so I don't know.
Well,
That's
just-
okay before.
keep going. We'll see if it works out. We're having a little Facebook problem. Hopefully, it's not a problem, you know, that's real, but it may be.
Right.
All right, Brad, why don't you go ahead and start? It's the most common sport injury, right?
Right, exactly. It's the most commonly injured part of the body throughout the sports, from weight bearing, running, soccer, football. There's a plethora of events that you're on your feet. The good news is, if you do sprain your ankle, 80% of them can be successfully rehabbed through exercise and therapy. So the vast majority, you can do it if you know what to do. So that's what we're going to show you. And another thing is, the 91% of these sprains are the inversion type. In other words,
Okay, so this is, I'm turning my ankle in.
right.
And that's how most ankle
this
injuries
way.
happen. Or if I go like this, can you see I'm turning in? Is Facebook back on?
Oh,
All right,
good.
good. So, or with this ankle would be in this way.
Okay.
A lot of times you land on somebody else's foot in basketball,
Ooh.
or I've landed on a basketball one time, believe it or not, or you just hit it wrong. And
My daughter landed on someone else's foot.
yeah,
playing
that
basketball.
happens a lot.
You
That-
land on a
that's
foot and you roll it over, and then you're coming down to boot.
You hit a rock and you turn this way. But one point we should make, Brad, quite often it's not just that your ankles are weak. Sometimes it's a lack of proprioception.
Sure.
You have a really poor, when your ankle gets damaged, sometimes you have a poor sense of where your ankle is at in space without looking at it. So the ankle starts to turn before you know it, and you actually end up spraining it.
Right.
So these things are going to help with that too,
Right.
these exercises.
And lack of proprioception is something you're completely unaware of unless you are alert to it or get tested for it.
Right, exactly.
Which usually is not someone, the average lay person is not aware
Well, a
of.
simple test for proprioception, Brad, is just to stand on one leg like this, and you close your eyes even,
Yep.
and see how well you do. If you go on one and you can be real solid, and you go on the other and you're all over,
Sure.
that means you have poor proprioception in that ankle. So a
Right.
simple test you can do, give it a shot, and if it does, you're going to want to do some of these balance activities that
Right.
we're doing.
Right. We're going to start out with a real basic strengthening exercise. Say you sprained your ankle, it started to recover, you're starting to be able to walk on a little bit, or you may be on crutches yet. But this is what I want you to do. I want you to pretend there is a piece of chalk right on the end of your foot, and there's a chalkboard. This is all, make believe, but the motion is not. So you're going to make a capital A with that piece of chalk.
So in other words, we're doing the alphabet.
Yep,
right, Brad?
ABCs. And then I always tell my patients to use capital letters because you get a little more range of motion.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to do, I think, too.
And now this seems really easy to do with a healthy ankle, but after an ankle sprain and you're recovering, and after that acute stage where the swelling's starting to come down, you'll get to D, E, or F, and you'll start to feel fatigued already.
Yeah, and if you're a millennial where you think that you have to type everything, I don't want you going like this. You actually have to write the letters out.
Oh, Bob,
I may not know how to do that.
You're
They don't-
killing me, Bob.
So, all right, where are we at now, Brad?
Okay.
After the ABCs.
Well, this is one thing. You're going to have to move for this, Bob. and this is something probably only therapists are really aware of, but the hip abductor muscle, they've done studies on this, always gets weak after an ankle injury. So what you're going to do is lay on your side like this. And Bob, why don't you come over here and do a manual muscle test? If I go up like this, then Bob's going to push down and hold it. I can't resist it. Now, if I did that with a healthy leg, it's as solid as a rock.
Right.
So what you're going to do is go home and you're going to do this exercise right here like this.
Again, it may seem silly, but your body it's a full chain of events. And if that is weak, and if your external rotators are weak, we'll do that one too. It's going to affect the way your foot goes, and you're going to be more likely to actually even pronate your foot, and it's just going to give you a problem.
A weak hip's going to, cause a poor ankle problem for poor balance. You can put some resistance. I got the St. Band loop on there, which works out really well, and I'm really starting to work that hip muscle now. And then you can bring this up to your knee, go into what we call the clamshell, so you strengthen different fibers of that abductor muscle.
And you can start off again without the band and doing these, but this is a great muscle exercise for strengthening the muscles of the hip.
You're going to try to do 10 to 15 of them. By that time, those hip muscles should be, getting fatigued or tired. If they're not, then you need a little more resistance. But it's important to get that. A lot of times that is ignored early on in the strengthening part of an ankle rehab. So remember that hip abductor strength. Get it strong.
We got some people saying hi from Dubai.
Oh, excellent.
And hi from Greece.
Maybe we can visit there too.
Yeah.
All right.
So you say hello, I say Dubai.
Oh, Bob, you're killing me.
Okay, where are we at now, Brad?
All right.
One thing to give yourself a little protection, you could use the Asl brace, right?
Oh, right. Absolutely. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I've got one on. This is my personal.
This is Brad's favorite brace after you sprain your ankle or if you have a weak ankle.
Yep.
Especially it's a good brace for sporting events. If you're playing basketball, it's designed to be, you can be active in it.
Right. Early on in your sprain, if you're not ready to play the sport, but you're out walking around on uneven surfaces, it's even time to wear it then. But other than that, as it gets better, for example, my daughter, she sprained her ankle, and after a full rehab, every time she's out playing, she wore the brace just to prevent a future injury.
Sure. And when we're saying ASO, it's ASO, ankle stabilizing orthosis, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So this is the unique thing about this brace. Actually, it's not unique, but there's other ones that have it. But make sure you get one that has lateral support. So this one I'm going to pull up here, and this one's the one on the outside is the important one. I can pull up and really snug it up because that's going to prevent that ankle from rolling in the direction that it was injured. Then it's got these other Velcro straps that help keep the laces tucked in. Really nice support. I've recommended them for over 20 years. Wore myself when I sprained my ankles. You can't go wrong with an ASO for an ankle sprain. Next,
Sarah brought up a point that hi Sarah. She brought up a point that walking in heels can make you, especially if, that's not something I've done. Not in public.
Yeah.
But I could see where that would definitely, put you at like this and having to walk along with that. Be an unstable world.
That's going to put you at risk.
So where are we at now, Brad?
Bob, we want to get into that proprioception exercise.
Sure.
And what you can do is you'll start out, let's say I injured my right foot. We're going to see if you can balance. And once that's easy, then you're going to start touching your toe in front, out to the side, out to the other side, and then behind. Now, I can do it easily because I've got a healthy ankle, but if you've got a weak ankle, you'll find that that's challenging.
I'm not that great at these. I'm so tall, I got small feet, but actually I can do it. And you can put your hands on your hips.
Right.
And this is one you can do while you're brushing your teeth, by the way.
There you go.
That way you get it in during the day, and the brushing actually, throws you off a little bit.
Yeah. Getting two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
When that gets too easy, you take a cushion that's got some foaminess to it. You can use a memory cushion, works really well. or you can use a cushion off your furniture, or
Sure.
if you want to buy something, you can. You don't need
Just don't
to.
sprain your ankle while you're doing this. Be safe. You might have something nearby, a countertop, so that you can hold on to.
Yeah, you might just use a balance stick here. And you'll be amazed what a little cushion or foam that you're standing on make a big difference on your balance and your proprioception. You can see me, I'm already wobbly just doing this. But then you continue with the same exercise. I'm going to use a stick, which makes a big difference. After it gets better, you can take the stick away and, use it like someone walking the
Yeah,
tightrope.
there you go.
But you have it
The
there.
Walanda. Isn't the Walanda brothers? Or who was it that used to always do that?
That's beyond me, Bob. I haven't heard. I don't know. But these are simple but really effective exercises.
Would you try them with your eyes closed or not?
You could.
That'd be
You could. If you could do
fun to
that,
help.
you probably have someone there to help you out
Right.
just in case you lose. You don't want to fall while you're rehabbing your ankle. Should we go to the next one, Bob?
Sure. What's the next one, Brad?
The next one carries on
With the strengthening? I mean,
strengthening and proprioception and balance.
oh, what about the toe up and toe in?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one, too. We could go to that one first. They're kind of happen at the same time of the rehab.
Again, like these are nice ones that you can do without any equipment. So
Right.
you're just going to work on, again, while you're standing somewhere, just go ahead and do some heel ups
Yep.
and then toe ups too. And sometimes you do them one right after another, right, Brad?
And when it gets too easy, you're doing both feet to start with. Let's say you can do 15 toe-ups, 15 heel-ups, and then you do the full rock, 15 of those, and it feels pretty good. Then go to the injured one all by itself. You need something to hold on to, and then that strengthens it to the next level. So everything goes step at a time. We don't go from walking to running. All of these steps have to come in place before we start getting to some high impact.
You want to show the ziggy zaggy there, Brad?
This is one of my favorite ones because it's so effective and it's so easy to do. Watch my feet. Lonnie, can you get my feet on Facebook? Now, you want to strengthen not just the muscles that dorsiflex and plantar flex, but you want to get the lateral muscles so you don't sprain again. And without anything except for a pair of shoes on, you simply do the Charleston or the ziggy zaggy. And this, you're going to need shoes on because you want the rubber of the shoe to create some resistance so the muscles in the ankles are working. Plus, you're getting a little hips and a little core strengthening here. When it gets too easy to do that, I'll have my patients go about 10 feet one way, 10 feet the other way, 2 to 3 times. And when it gets too easy, then you just go to 1 foot. And that makes it quite a bit harder.
All right, I want to say a thank you to Thelo7878. It's the Flying Walandas.
Oh,
He helped us out. Thank you.
all right.
No.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
The one they used to do they get up on the tightrope.
Oh, the
and
tightrope.
all the
Oh,
brothers and,
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Now, if you can do this without a balancing stick, it really means you're getting ready and close to doing some high impact activity. Now, this procedure might take 2 to 3 weeks to get through, or
Sure, to
longer.
get to this point.
It depends on how severely you sprained your ankle.
And if you did sprain your ankle, you just have weak ankles, you might be able to start these right away.
Precisely.
Yeah. So, all right, lunges, Brad? Or no, you want to go to that now?
Yeah. This next one. Well, we'll go to this one.
Sure.
So we want to work the hips, the balance, and everything. So we're going to take a stretch band, and we need a strap to go around the ankle.
Sure.
Actually, you could just put this around the ankle as well without that strap. You can do that. You need something to anchor your band to. We happen to have a wall anchor here, which works out really well for this.
So he's got the cuff, he's got the exercise tubing.
Yep.
That's what he's got. And he's going to go ahead and he can, again, work both. Now he's working everything at the same time. So it's kind of an advanced move here.
You'll probably want to have some kind of a balancing stick to start with. And simply all you do is you kick. Now you might ask, which leg do you start with? You could go either one. I'm starting with my injured one first because the other leg is working some balance, but then you're working the hip, and we're going to go 4 directions so that we get all the planes, all the muscle planes working. And typically, I'll do these for 10 repetitions. As you get stronger, I'll use a timer. Instead of counting, I'll set the timer for 30 seconds. And you'll be amazed doing this for 30 seconds, how fatigued you'll get. Now, it is important that you do both legs. There we go.
Maria's wondering if this would apply to stroke patients. You could do some of these for stroke patients, especially the ABCs, some of the beginner ones, but you know, safety first. We don't want anybody falling and breaking their ankles, so you're going to have somebody with you.
With the gait belt on, making sure they're doing
It's going to depend on the severity of your stroke.
Right.
If you've had a severe stroke, you won't be able to do some of these, obviously.
Ooh.
So.
Boy, yeah, these are, I'm getting tired.
So now you're working the right ankle very hard, even though the left one is the one that's doing the resistance.
Right. Yep. So actually, you're going to feel that sore ankle when the weight is on it. All those little muscles are really working to maintain that.
It's a great functional way to strengthen the ankle because you know during the day you're doing things that are active, and the ankle needs to support you when it's moving like that.
Sure.
All right, Brad. Once you get that stripped off, where are we at now?
We'll do lunges.
Okay. So you can just go ahead and lunge forward like this. Now, which one am I doing forward? The weak one?
Yeah. Well, I want you to do both of them. So go which one you feel most confident with. But you probably want to hang on to something. You can hang on to the cupboard at home.
I was hanging on to this, yeah.
If you want to stick, or you can hang on to both. Actually, I'll do that with some people until they feel confident.
Now look at the point though here. The knee is not going past the tip of the toe. I'm going down and dipping down like this.
Yeah.
Now you also want me going out to the side, right, Brad? Out like this?
Well, let's do this one first. I just want to make a couple points. So you're going to do that. You're going to do 10 of them. You can alternate right, left, which I like to do as you get more advanced because that's the way you walk. When you run, you're always alternating.
Sure.
When that gets easy, you can do 10 on a side with good stability. Now let's face the cameras. And then, well, let's use this as a center line.
You want to make sure the knee's not going in like this.
Sure, good.
You want to make sure the knee's going straight.
Right over the toe. So you put an imaginary line there. There, nice job.
Line right up with it.
Yeah, you're doing good.
All right.
Now, go back to where you were. There's a red line on the floor. I want you to step forward with your right foot and cross over here. And do a lunge crossing
my right foot like this?
Yep. And now the next one, cross over to here.
With this one or this one?
Nope, the same one. Good question. There you go. And back and forth. Right. So now we're working off the center line a little bit. And then you can alternate right to left doing that as well. There you go.
Gotcha.
Okay, now big step out to the side. There you go. So we're starting to get those lateral muscles. Good. Now do it with a big squat down at athletic posture. There you go. Oh, your butt's hitting the table. Not that you got a big butt, Bob.
Yeah. And I cannot lie.
Good. Now this runs into getting to higher level. Once everything we've done so far becomes easy, the muscle's not fatiguing. You can do it for.
Well, I do these too, Brad. By the way, just to real quickly, I start having people doing these, and then I also have doing the karaoke.
Sure. Yep.
Look at the little dance step. I need my cane.
So, all right. Again, back and forth. Maybe get 15 to 20 feet and go back and forth and do it 2 to 3 times. You'll become fatigued after that. But when you're not, then it's time to go to the next thing. And this is already starting to show some high
level stuff. Yeah.
And then this is getting close to the end of the rehab is when you actually start to see if your ankle tolerates some high.
Sure.
So with 2 legs, I'm going to hop up and down for 15 seconds. And I'm only going to do that if it doesn't create any pain in that weak ankle. If it feels fine, the next step is to hop forward and backwards. Forward and backwards. And again, 15 to 30 seconds, you should be able to do that. You're only going to progress to the next one if you can do that without any pain in the ankle. A lot of times I'll have people with one direction will create pain and the other one won't. If that's the case, you're not ready for it. You need to go back to just the up and the down. And then finally, the right to left. And this one is one where it really puts some stress on that injured ankle, particularly if my right one is here. But you need to be able to do this without any pain and feel perfectly stable.
Bob? All right, Zen Mermaiden is wondering what does it mean when your knee cracks when you're kneeling or bending forward like this? Now, it can be, if there's no pain, my knees have cracked my entire life.
Sure.
And if there's a release of gas from the joint, I should say it. I better clarify that, right?
Yeah, right, Bob.
Isn't it nitrogen?
Yeah, nitrogen going from a liquid to a gas creates that pop, and that's called cavitation.
Yeah, and one way you can tell if that's what it is, if it does it once,
Yep.
and then you do it again and it doesn't do it again,
Right.
that means the gas hasn't built back up again. So
Takes some time.
it takes some time. But if it cracks every time, and if there's pain, then you may want to get it checked out. If, the kneecap can cause that.
Sure.
If there's the kneecap is a little bit off center.
Mhm.
It can also be in the joint itself if you're older and starting to, things are starting to wear out.
Sure.
So there can be causes like that. If you just had an accident or injury and there's popping that wasn't there before and it has pain, you should see a doctor then.
Yeah. I know I have people with total knees. They'll have some popping after surgery. Typically, it's pain-free almost always. We work on strengthening.
And then it goes away.
The
a lot of times.
surgeons aren't concerned about if
No.
it's pain-free and everything is safe.
Yeah,
They should
exactly.
give it some time.
So
Okay, will that brace help with the pain on top of the foot?
With pain?
on top of the foot, I don't know if it will. That's interesting if you ask that because
Right.
my wife is going through this right now.
Okay.
She's got pain on top of her foot. I've had pain on the top of my foot too.
Mhm.
When I tie my shoelaces a little bit too tight and you go for walks or you go for
Sure.
runs. She has it on both feet right now.
Okay.
And I actually had to throw an ice pack on it this morning. She's walking around with an ice pack on it because, again, once it gets flared up, it seems like, it gets bad.
Sure.
I know there's nerve entrapments too that can cause pain on the
Right.
top of your foot, but for me, it was purely my shoes being tied tight and running, and it caused the irritation.
Sure. It's just too tight.
Yeah, it got to the point where I couldn't run.
Right.
I had to actually do some ultrasound on it,
Sure.
and then it calmed down.
So, you could try this and see how it goes. You're going to only use it if it clearly makes it feel better. And when you walk, it feels good. Everything about it feels good. If not, it's not the right thing. They're not a cheap brace. It's about $50, $60. But for an ankle sprain, typical symptoms of an ankle sprain, I feel very confident in recommending. In your situation, I'm not sure. Hard to say over the internet.
I have screws in my ankle where I fractured 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Is it okay to keep them in if they are not bothering me?
I think you got to ask your surgeon that.
Mhm.
Generally, a lot of times, I think they do keep them in, don't they? If they aren't bothering.
I've had 2 patients, or actually 3, with a specific ankle fracture. They have hardware screws are in there, and they're in there for long term. However, the doctor's telling them you cannot do any high impact, no jumping, no running. If you do, you're at risk for breaking the screw. Once you break the screw, it's not good.
Oh, sure.
As a matter of fact, my son-in-law has that same situation, and he wants to get his screw taken out so that he can go back to higher level activities. But it's going to cost.
You really got to ask your surgeon,
Right,
Because it depends
right.
where the screw is.
Yeah.
My wife, I believe, has a screw. No, in her ankle.
I hope she's not watching.
In
this
her
episode.
ankle, but she sprained or fractured her ankle when she was like 16, 15,
Sure.
16. And she's had it ever since. She runs, she does everything. Not that she does anything high impact beyond running,
Right.
but that's fairly high impact.
Right. It's pretty
So,
repetitive.
Yeah, so
Yeah. Ask your surgeon. That is the route to go on that. Good question.
I have high insteps and enjoy the outside ankle easily. Is there strengthening exercise that will help?
So she has high insteps and she injures the outside of her ankle
Right.
regularly.
Right.
I would try these exercises that we showed you today because it may, again, not be a weak ankle. It may not even be that you have a good instep.
Yeah.
It may be that you lack proprioception. You should do that test that we did at the beginning where you actually stand on the one leg and then stand on the other leg and see, are you more unbalanced like
Right.
that? If that's the case, then you probably do have decreased proprioception and you need to work on that.
Right. And things like the exercise we showed where you're doing this on the floor, and then get yourself something squishy, some foam rubber to stand on and work that. And you'll definitely feel that ankle working, as well as doing the one with the band. That stresses that ankle going all 4 directions. You can review that, just reverse, fast forward, and look at that exercise.
Jackie has a good question. She's wondering if you should wear that ASL brace all the time or will your ankle get weak? And I agree. I wouldn't wear it all the time.
No.
I would wear it probably for sporting events or
Mhm.
somewhere if you think you're going to be at risk. But otherwise, I'd absolutely not wear it.
Right.
I mean, if you're walking on level surfaces,
For example, if you're going to go hiking up in the hills,
Right.
then you put it on. If you're going to have a basketball playing game,
Yeah.
you put it on. But that's the time when it's only when you're at high risk for an injury.
If you're running and frolicking across your lawn and it's got a lot of holes in it, put it on.
Right? If you got a lot of moles,
Yeah, if you got a lot of holes,
that'll
we
be a
do in the
problem.
back our hill sometimes.
Yeah.
Somebody is asking videos if you guys can do shoulder impingement syndrome.
So the question is, can we do a video on shoulder impingement syndrome? We have lots of videos on
Right.
shoulder impingement. So you should go into our video, onto our channel on YouTube. She's on Facebook asking this
Sure.
question. So our channel on YouTube is Physical Therapy Video.
Right.
Physical Therapy Video, or Bob and Brad. If you put that, it'll come up.
Yeah, you'll see us.
And there's a little search thing there. It's a little round thing.
Mhm.
And you type in what your shoulder impingement, and I swear you'll have 5-6 videos come up.
Or just go to the playlist. Go to
Yeah.
playlist, and then it's all categorized. Go to shoulder impingement, and we have probably 10 different videos. I'm guessing somewhere around there, and you can just get yourself some coffee, and watch every video, and you'll get all kinds of.
You can make a
recommendations.
big difference in shoulder impingement if you do exercise. I hate to take the time right now. We don't have much time left.
Sure.
So
We do have some really good videos that we get a lot of good feedback, not only in the clinic but from people.
Any
On our channel.
particular recommendation for strengthening hypermobile ankles?
So the question is, how about strengthening hypermobile ankles? All these would work for that.
Right. Yep.
They're all good for it. I mean,
You wouldn't need to start out with the ABCs or
Right.
the hip, but after that, as soon as you get from the TheraBand ones, where we worked with those and the rest of them. So, just start with this video and go. And we have some other ankle strengthening exercise videos. If you go Bob and Brad ankle strengthening YouTube, it'll pull them up.
somebody was asking the question, Brad, should they wear the ASL brace along with high top tennis shoes, or do they need the brace if they have the high top tennis shoes?
I would say yes. I
Sure.
know my daughter had high top. We got good basketball shoes.
And she still could sprain
She
her
still
ankle.
sprained her ankles, so this does a better job, and that's just the way.
Yeah, if you're prone to spraining, if you have never sprained it before, I wouldn't wear one then
No.
as prevention.
right.
But if you're repeatedly spraining yours, I would wear the brace along with
Yep.
the high tops.
Yep.
So
Just during the activity that,
Right.
again, not all the time, but just when you're at high risk.
Okay, I refuse to get my ankles fused because I love walking and hiking,
Sure.
and it helps with the pain, but I need to strengthen without hurting.
So a lady's asking a lady?
Yeah.
Asking the question, she refuses to get her ankles fused. She must have pretty bad arthritis or something
It
along that
sounds
line.
like it.
And she wants to still keep on hiking and walking. And so she wants some strengthening exercise for that. One thing, for her too, I would get a brace when she walks.
Right.
You know what I mean? It'll
Yeah.
protect the ankle when
Sure.
she's doing. If you got to be able to do these exercises without increased pain.
Mhm.
If you're making the arthritis or pain worse in the joint while you're doing these, it's not doing you any good.
Right. You're not going to push through sharp pain,
Yeah.
and it's going to get better. If you're in the middle of a flare up in pain, I know this is not an option for everyone, but if you can get in a swimming pool, then and get water this deep, it's amazing how much more you can do, and the pain goes down dramatically because the buoyancy and the water contact effect. So
Good point.
it's one option.
We'll take one more question and then we gotta go to work.
Yeah,
So,
we got people waiting for us.
Experience pain and tightness relation. So someone said they sprained their ankle, went over their ankle playing football, and they got pain and tightness in the front of their shin when trying to dorsiflex their ankle. So I'm guessing if they went over the front of their ankle, they might have strained the muscles in the anterior tib area here.
Sure.
Maybe they went like this,
Right.
From
what it sounds like.
Yeah. So, I mean, basically you injured these muscles right in here, and it would be good to just go in and massage those.
Yeah,
Actually.
deep massage.
Deep massage, working across the fibers of it
Right.
and getting deep down into it. And then you can stretch these muscles too. You can actually get up and
Yeah, just a seated.
yep, and going onto them like this, and you're actually stretching that front ankle,
Right. Right.
anterior tibialis and such. So That'd be my guess without seeing you. What
Yeah, it's
happened.
kind of hard to say for sure if we're interpreting that right.
So, all right, Brad.
Say no more, Bob.
Or remember, Brad and I can fix just about anything
Except for,
a broken heart.
there you go.
We love your hearts. I don't know what that means.